2025 budget has finally been approved by the House of Assembly and has been sent back to the presidency to sign into law and proceed with expenditures for projects that it will be needed for. So let's talk about this budget. This budget has been increased twice. So when the presidency initially proposed the 2025 budget to the House, it was 49.7 trillion naira. Then the presidency increased it from 49 to 54.2 trillion naira. According to the presidency, this is because some of agencies and parastatals under the government will be needing some procurement that led to that increase. They mentioned agencies like INEC, ICPC, EFCC, Nigeria Financial Investigation Unit. There are some of the agencies that will be needing this financing that they had to increase the budget for from 49.7 to 54.2 trillion naira. Now, the House of Assembly, after scrutiny and checking properly for 2 months, they have approved the budget and approved an increased budget of $200 million difference. So the budget that was approved by the House of Assembly is 54.99 trillion naira, which is equivalent when it comes to the increment. The increment is equivalent to 3.3 billion naira. So of course they have to justify. So in an interrogation with the chairperson for the appropriation committee in the House, is Senator Adeshola, he went on to say that this increment is a means of them filling the gap that has been left in the Nigerian health sector by the US aid exits. If we can take our mind back to a couple of weeks ago, Donald Trump said that the US is going to be suspending the support for health support they've been giving developing countries in the world. And of course, one of those countries affected is Nigeria. And the diseases that are going to be affected by this is AIDS, HIV/AIDS, malaria, amongst other life-threatening diseases. So according to the House of Assembly and the House of Representatives, the lower and the upper chamber in Nigeria, they had to take the decision to increase the budget by $200 million, 3.3 billion naira plus, in order for them to be able to fill in that gap. So Nigerians who need the HIV drugs, who need malaria drugs, are able to access them even when they cannot afford them. So that is the reason. But another thing Senator Adeshola said is that we are going to be running on two budgets this year, 2024 budget and 2025 budget. So according to him, 2024 budget is still going to be running until June 2025, which means to middle this year, we're still going to be running on the 2024 budget, half of this year. Yet the 2025 budget as well is going to start running immediately. So according to him, the reason we still have expenditure from the last budget ongoing is because, one, the executive, that's the presidency, they usually do not submit their budget proposal to the House early enough. He believes that the proposal is supposed to be submitted 3 months before the financial year the budget is meant for, which means the 2025 budget should have been presented to the House since October 2024, but was presented December 2025 and took the House 2 months for proper checks and for approval. Aside that, he said another reason or factor that the budget of 2024 is still running alongside the 2025 budget is because they usually do not approve financing for projects that has been approved early enough. So for instance, maybe the construction of a major bridge connecting two states has been approved by the House and the presidency has signed. The financing does not always commence immediately, and when it doesn't commence immediately, there's going to be a lot of lay down of projects that have not yet financed, which means those projects are not being started. And that's why we have a lot of incomplete projects or projects that just remain in the book. So now another thing is that I believe is also giving chance for theft and corruption.